Good morning, afternoon, or evening as the case may be, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Let's Play Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. The decorations on the wall are a mixture of ancient cultures, civilizations that have long since turned to dust. Perhaps this dungeon is all that remains of them. When we last left Pious Augustus, he was teleported into this labyrinth, or dungeon, as it were. The dais on the floor is finely crafted, inlaid with gold and gems that Pious can't identify. A strong linear design is situated in the middle and is equally unknown to the Roman soldier. That's Centurion to you. A centurion is, of course, a man in the Roman military in charge of 100 men, hence Sanity. A ladder leads into the dank heart of the labyrinth. Danger lurks beneath, yet Pious' courageous resolve does not buckle. So let's climb down with old courageous Pious. What a handsome gentleman. Hi. Let's go talk to this fella here. I am sure. Okay, I genuinely jumped there for a second. Crap. Alright. So, in this game, with pretty much every single enemy, you always want to go for the head. And the reason for that is twofold, and I'll tell you why in a second. The reason you want to go for the head is, like I said, for two reasons. One, later on we will be introduced to the sanity mechanic, and if you lock eyes with one of these abominations, they'll slowly drain your sanity, so if you can take off the head before you lock eyes, that'll prevent any sanity loss. And two, well, there's a type of enemy later on in the game that if you hit anything but the head, they have a tendency to explode. And we'll pick up this granite block. Of course. Gentlemen. I mean, essentially, that's really all you need to do, because from this point on, they're just gonna hang out here, not really doing much of anything. So that's what we'll do. A strange granite block rests on the platform, and we will, of course, pick it up. Now let me show you something else that you've already seen, but I kind of want to explain it a little. So, you see that button here that says finish him? If you lose sanity, finishing off an enemy will regain a small portion of it, so that becomes kind of useful in later game. Oh, there's another one. Whoa. Yes, thank you, game. I know what a health meter is. I've been doing this long enough. Another granite block. I wonder what they're for. Another fun fact is, if you take off their heads while they're all in close proximity to each other, they'll all just start attacking each other like a bunch of dorks. Strangely, that did not make me jump. So, where have I been? What have I been doing? How have I been? Well, thank you for asking, ladies and gentlemen. To quote the immortal words of the great warrior poet Bob Ross, Sometimes you gotta have a little sadness in your life so you know when the good times come. I'm waiting on the good times now. And having said that, and having updated you as to the state of my being, let's proceed. Let me see if I can make them attack each other. Yeah, those two guys should be having a good time. Not doing a very good job of a gentleman. This wall is prominently decorated with a strange line symbol carved into the granite. Cut into the wall is a square hole lined with scratches, as though something has been removed from it. I wonder what it could be, ladies and gentlemen. Before we go any further, let's pick up this next granite block and go right along. So let's see, that's the blue one. Next, of course, is the red one. Then the green. And finally, the purple. Well, that puzzle was anything but for the feeble-minded. Honestly, it took me hours to figure it out, first time I played this game. I'm kidding, of course. And this is just about the caliber of puzzles that could be expected in the rest of this game. Pious, you must prove your worth by destroying this statue. Alright, no problem. We know how to do that. So this game is presented in chapters, and I'll be taking you through it chapter by chapter, in installments. They'll be of variable length, depending on the chapter, of course. Alright, those guys have been neutralized. A button is attached to a small pylon softly illuminates the room. A bizarre energy seems to radiate from it. Should Pious push the button, of course. We press every button here, ladies and gentlemen. Every button. Oh, look at all these pretty things. A strange sculpture resembling a red-clawed worm mysteriously floats above the pedestal. We will be picking that one up. An effigy resembling a warped angel, shaped from dark green emerald, hovers effortlessly above the pedestal. Shaped like a delicate dome, a pale blue statuette floats gracefully above the pedestal, ladies and gentlemen. We'll claim this one.
Eons have passed since then, and I have learned much. All at once, I understood. the forces of the multiverse all made sense under the transcending power of Ulyaoth. No mountain too high, no city too far. Face me, and you shall surely perish.
Alex has acquired the Tome of Eternal Darkness. Terrific. This is the Tome of Eternal Darkness, where experience, spells, and enchanted items can be stored for future use. It has been made from fragments of human skin and bone, and endowed with magical powers. Great. Let's take another quick look around the mansion, because it's come to me that I didn't really explore everything the first time around. Let's take a look in this room. So what's in this room is essentially this. A brass-framed mirror is set into the wall. The mirror's direction can be adjusted by means of two crankshafts set below it. A curious device. Is it related to the telescope in some way? Now, for now, it does absolutely nothing. That, or I've forgotten what it does. But there's 3 of those crankshafts in this room, as well as this little, what would you call that? A porticulus? Porticulus? Porticule? Port. And that's about it for now. Now, I seem to remember us having a blade. I seem to remember there being a room where a blade was needed. It isn't this room. That's the kitchen. Wait. It wasn't the kitchen. I always get confused. There it is. Alex places the blade in the slot, but feels it push back. It is as if the magic of the blade does not fit the lock. Okay, so we'll have to come back here later. The key comes apart in the lock. The key to the second floor is broken. Perhaps there's a way of repairing it. Perhaps. But for now, let's go back to the hidden room, as I feel that that's where our destiny lies. Oh, it's another tree. In the warm glow of candlelight, the Roivas family tree hangs from the wall. Shadows flitter across its surface, obscuring the detail. If one looks closely, the family's secrets are revealed. These books contain the history of the Roivas family, genealogy, birth and death records, deeds and writs. The Roivas history is a troubled one. As Mediterranean immigrants, the early Roivas were shunned by other settlers in North America. Suspected of witchcraft, the Roivas were convicted during the witch hunts, forcing them into hiding. As memories faded, the Roivas rebuilt their lives. Well, that's good. You see what I mean? Sometimes you gotta take the light with the dark. Because again, according to Bob Ross, if it's just light on light, it's nothing. Dark on dark, also nothing. Strangely, with the Tome of Eternal Darkness in her possession, Alex can read the page. It is a chapter page from the tome itself. Alex has found a chapter page entitled The Binding of the Corpse God. That sounds like a really good song title, actually. Let's check it out.
I cannot say what was the true beginning, nor am I sure of its end. So perhaps here is the best place to start. I am reminded of ideas I first encountered in Sir James George Fraser's book, The Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion. We are overwhelmed by a very human need to weave a web of meaning where there may be none. Since time immemorial, ancient peoples have dressed up their lack of knowledge as gods and demons. I have discovered that sometimes the fates of gods and mortals intertwine, and legends are born.
Thy time is done, great ancient. Forever in shadow will you be master of chaos, and to fade to nothing in obscurity will be thy fate. Thy master has planned many millennia for this day. It is the true chaos of all things that you now must be entombed amongst the beings
of flesh and bone. You have a great monument here, Mount Turok. It is a pity that no one will ever recognize it as yours. May the darkness claim thee, crawling chaos and damned beast! No longer will thy reign be kept over the ancients you have kept imprisoned. Thou hast seen the last of this world.
Not even these mythical fables can keep me amused. There has to be something to do around here. I only wish something that fantastic and of higher purpose could happen to me.
Careful what you wish for. Now, having said and done all that, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you in suspense. Thank you for watching. Smash that like button, and I will...